Don't be fooled by my ever so happy face. I am literally melting here. It's been so hot. And even then, I am bringing you guys this video. So you better click on it, like it, share it with your friends, comment down below. And I am going to give you all the right reasons to also like this video just in a minute. So stay tuned, but we're gonna make it quick because otherwise I'll just die here. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Pooja at A Book by the Window. I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you guys are reading good. I'm back with another video for this week. Books from Indian literature that you must read. I am bringing you these books from my very own collection and trying to encourage Indian literature as much as I can in the little sphere of influence that I have on this part of the internet. And if you have clicked just for that, you are in for some treat. If you are an old subscriber, welcome back to the channel. I do appreciate your support and choosing the time to look at me speak about these very beloved books that I have loved for years, and I'm bringing it to you today. If you are a new subscriber, welcome to the channel. I make book related videos here. I talk about books a lot, and that's what I have been trying to do, trying to get this channel monetized as soon as possible so that I can turn this little hobby into something that brings me some moolah every now and then. But having said that, I also have a main channel that's linked in the description box below. If you want to check out what I do usually, other than just talking about books, you're gonna find it there. You're also gonna find it on my Instagram page that's linked in the description box below. Enough yapping, let's get into the actual video. You know what they say, great stories do not just stay on the page. They find a way to your heart and mind, shaping how we see the world around us. Today, I'm very excited to take you on the journey of these 5 incredible reads from Indian literature that you will absolutely love, and they are an absolute must-read in my list. These books span genre, explore human emotions in raw, beautiful ways, and provides powerful insight in the complexities of life lived in this Indian subcontinent. I'm always going to be the one to tell you that good books just does not entertain you; they leave an imprint into your heart and mind and impact your life for the better. These 5 books did exactly that for me. They opened my worldview to a world outside my brain, outside my head, outside the city that I was brought up in. And even before I moved outside this house, I was able to see how wide and how diverse this world is and how people of different opinions exist in this world. That is why I respect different perspectives personally in my life a lot, and I find myself seeking different cultures just for that reason, because it makes you just a better human being, be more empathetic towards the human race and those around you, and be respectable of all culture irrespective of the fact where you come from. First book on the list is going to be from my favorite author of all the time, The Lowland by Jhumpa Lahiri. This book is a beautiful multi-generational story about 2 brothers growing up in post-partition India, an India that's actively grappling with political ideologies, family duty, and the aftermath of a tragedy. As is the case with Jhumpa Lahiri's books, set both in India and the US, this book explores the emotional element of loss, guilt, and the immigrant experience. What really sets this book apart is Jhumpa Lahiri's way of capturing human longing and consequences of decisions that echo through time. Each character carries the weight of political and personal history, which truly makes the book incredibly rich in texture. When I first read this book, it was as if Jhumpa Lahiri is directly speaking to me. The way she depicts emotional distance truly resonated with me, especially when I moved outside my home and so far away from my home, trying to make a home of my own. It made me think about the invisible threads that still connects us to our past. No matter where we land, no matter how far we try to run away from it, there are some things in life that never leaves you. You either learn to accept them and move on, or be conflicted around them and still try to make a living. If you have ever read any books from Jhumpa Lahiri, you would know the level of creativity and the beauty of the lyrical prose that she presents in her book, an ability that I feel only she has to create worlds that are deeply interpersonal, taking inspiration from the simple things and finding beauty in them. What is your favorite Jhumpa Lahiri novel? Let me know in the comment section. I completely forgot that I can put this mic here, and I have been sitting with it for so long. This is what happens when your brain is completely over. Moving on to the second book in the list. Latitudes of Longing by Shivangi Swaroop. Almost forgot the name of the author. It has been such a long while I read this one up. This is a sweeping debut novel that explores the intersection of nature and human emotions and the mystical between that. The narrative moves from the remote islands of Andaman to the icy Himalayas, weaving together interconnected stories across the time and space. Swaroop's work is not only remarkable for its vivid storytelling, but also for how it seamlessly integrates magical realism in real world issues like political upheaval, environmental crisis, and personal loss. It feels like you are moving through different worlds, each imbued with its own unique atmosphere. When I read this book, it felt like a spiritual journey in itself. I was constantly reminded of the fragility of life, the nature, its vastness, its true power, and how as humans we overlook its power and believe that we are the mortals on this planet, but nature time and again teaches us that that's not true and we are only stardust in this universe. If you're a fan of magical realism and something that blends the Indian backdrop and the vastness of nature that we have here, the Himalayas, the sea, the ocean, the Ghat, the mountains, everything packed in just one country. Against that backdrop, there is an element of magical realism coupled with politics. Indian books are always going to have an element of politics because it makes so much of our fabric of living here. And this is a classic example, a very beautiful example of a book like that. It did remind me of Gabriel Marquez' 100 Years of Solitude in its tone and dreamlike sequences. Third book in the list is again from one of my favorite authors. This is a translated piece of work, and I guess this author is my favorite when it comes to translated work. I'm talking about none other than Perumal Murugan. The book that I'm featuring as number 3 is The Goat Thief by Perumal Murugan. This is a collection of short stories that very beautifully encaptures the lives of people in rural Tamil Nadu through these vignettes. Perumal Murugan paints a picture of everyday life with all its small joys, conflicts, and mysteries. I just happened to visit Tamil Nadu for its beauty. I was there in Chennai just a few weeks back and I was reminded of the beauty of Tamil Nadu through the eyes of this book that I read so many years ago and I still remember so deeply. So definitely it had some impact on me, just to say. What I loved about this book is how Perumal Murugan finds beauty in the mundane. I always love books like these, which are kind of like on the backdrop of something sad, but also just depicting everyday life. That is why I also like Jhumpa Lahiri a lot, because it is very raw in the sense that the good and the bad and the ugly coexist together every single day, and it is up to us to make what of it. And these books remind me of these emotions that are only lived when you live a life every single day through its small things. The way Perumal Murugan in this book is the stories of ordinary people and their struggle reminds us of the quiet but powerful emotions that we go through daily. His work feels very grounded, yet each story has a powerful punch that stays with you long after you are done finished reading this book. Murugan's stories made me think about the deeply personal and mundane moments in my life that have had a lasting impact even though I thought they are very simple. It's not always the big things, the dramatic events that shape us, but the small, seemingly insignificant moments that lingers in our minds. Let me know in the comment section below if you like short story reads or you like long length novels. I personally really enjoy reading short stories ever since I was a kid, and they pack so much in such little time, such little space that I'm gobsmacked. I'm always very gobsmacked by their power. So that is going to be my pick. What is going to be your fourth book in the list is something that I don't have with me here. I'm pretty sure I had a copy of it somewhere, but I can't remember. The book that I'm talking about is The Train to Pakistan by Khushwant Singh. Very small little book, but one that has shaped the course of Indian literature for so many years, one that's tainted as a classic for all the right reasons. And I'm just going to quickly go over why you should read this book. I truly believe this is a book that will leave you speechless, even though it is some odd 150 pages. Train to Pakistan by Khushwant Singh is set against the background of a very dark India. I would like to call it one of the darkest periods of Indian history, the partition of 1947. The story takes place in a small Indian village where small religious tensions are going to turn into violence. And what will happen, we all know. We have read these things. We have read about these things in our history books time and again, but this story tells it through the eyes of characters we find ourselves attached to as we read about them, as Khushwant Singh bring them to life, as Khushwant Singh give these stories voices. We all must know what our forefathers went through to give us the freedom that we enjoy today, and all of us have a responsibility to uphold that sacrifice, to uphold that the powerful liberty that we were accounted, all thanks to these stories. This is a very beautiful line from the book. We are all prisoners, but some of us are in cells with windows and some without. This novel gives a very raw, unflinching look at the human cost of war and division. If you are ready to explore a deeply moving part of history, The Train to Pakistan by Khushwant Singh is going to be the book that you should read. Last but not the least on the list is The Sea of Poppies by Amitav Ghosh. Sea of Poppy is an historical epic novel set against the backdrop of the Opium War. The story follows a diverse group of characters whose life intersect on the Ibis, a ship carrying laborers from India to the Caribbean. Ghosh's novel is a masterpiece in blending historic events with human emotions. His intricate portrayal of colonial history, coupled with his attention to language and a cultural identity, it's a narrative that is as much about the personal journey than the political landscape. This book truly transported me back in time as someone who has been always fascinated by history, especially more so the history of the land that I come from. Sea of Poppy helped me understand a very significant part of the history, the often overlooked part of the colonial past. Ghosh's character felt so real, as if they're standing near me, telling me their stories, and how could I have not been moved by them? This book reminded me of another book, Shantaram. It is not from an Indian author, but that book also was deeply impacting in my psyche, and I would like to believe it shaped the way that I am today. It's a 1200 pages book, and Sea of Poppies reminded me of reading Shantaram almost 5-6 years back. I think it is almost 8 years now that I read Shantaram for the first time. So if you're someone who enjoyed Shantaram for its detailed look of India's underworld, or if you like The God of Small Things for its layered storytelling, I'm pretty sure you're gonna like this book. We're at the end of this video, so whether you are someone who is looking for a good historical fiction to read, or trying to add a book on magical realism that is set in a backdrop of India, or you're just looking for stories that tell the heart of everyday life in India, this list is going to come helpful to you. These books have left an indelible mark on me, and I hope they do the same for you. Let me know in the comment section below which one you are the most excited to pick. And if you like this video, please don't forget to like it, share this video with your friends and families alike who would like to read more books from Indian literature, and just overall show some love. I will highly appreciate if you do that. With that said, I'll take your leave for today. Until then, until the time that I meet you next, I hope you have had some time to pick up some lovely books and make a change in your life. Let me also know in the comment section below if there is any other list you would like me to review, come up with, or any other topics that you would like me to address. With that said, I will take your leave for today. I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Until then, happy reading.